President Trump has turned to social media in an effort to pressure Democrats into reaching a deal as the partial government shutdown reached a milestone today. Kenneth Craig has the latest from New York.
President Trump fired off a series of tweets Saturday as the partial government shutdown entered day 22, the longest in U.S. history. Mr. Trump tweeted, "Democrats could solve the shutdown in 15 minutes. Tell them to get it done. Humanitarian crisis." Congress has adjourned until next week, and so far Democrats have denied the president's request for more than $5 billion to fund a border wall.
We have a better idea about how to secure our border, to do so with technology and infrastructure that is smart.
The president has threatened to declare border security a national emergency.
But if we don't make a deal, I would say it would be very surprising to me that I would not declare a national emergency and just fund it.
A CBS News poll found that 47% of Americans say they blame President Trump for the partial government shutdown. 30% say they blame Democrats in Congress, and just 3% blame Republicans.
And the shutdown.
Caught in the middle are some 800,000 federal workers who did not receive paychecks Friday. Food banks are helping out by distributing emergency groceries to those furloughed or working without pay.
Not everyone makes the same amount of money, and a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck.
Mr. Trump says he will sign legislation from Congress that gives back pay to every federal worker affected by the shutdown. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Yesterday, U.S. Senator Steve Daines introduced the End Government Shutdowns Act, which permanently prevents federal government shutdowns, saying, quote, "shutdowns don't work, yet we're seeing them happen time and time again." He added that the Government Shutdowns Act will hold Congress accountable to funding the government and ensure that hardworking folks aren't paying the price for the partisan political games being played in D.C. On Thursday, day 20 of the government shutdown, Senator Jon Tester took the Senate floor along with a number of other senators. Tester said the bills should be brought to the floor to open this government and vote on them, and he thinks they will pass. And if the president vetoes them, bring them back for a veto override. He also added that he took an oath to protect this country, and we're turning our back on this country. In other national news, a deadly winter storm is blasting snow and ice along a 1,400-mile stretch from the Central Plains to the Mid-Atlantic coast, Kansas City, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and even the Washington, D.C. area. It could get up to a foot of snow. At least 7 people have been killed on slippery roads in Missouri, Kansas, and Indiana. Paige Holsey of our St. Louis affiliate KMOV has the latest.
This is the biggest winter storm to slam the St. Louis area in 5 years, with nearly a foot of snow falling since late Friday. Across the plains, the wintry mess shut down roadways, creating dangerous icy conditions. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says there have been more than 175 accidents. Some drivers were left stranded in their vehicles for several hours, forced to dig themselves out.
Our biggest problem in this storm has been the intensity. When it came down so intensely, and you know, the roads got slick fast, and it's impossible for us to keep up.
Tractor trailers struggling to maneuver up hills on Interstate 44 during the storm backed up traffic for miles yesterday, preventing plows from treating roads. And it's not just the highways. This American Eagle jet slid off the runway while taxiing to the gate at Columbia Regional Airport. 80 people were on board at the time. There were no reports of injuries. As the storm moves east, conditions are expected to get worse. More than 65 million people are under winter storm warnings. Here in Missouri, state officials say there are at least 12,000 households and businesses without power in the central part of the state. Here in St. Louis, there's nearly a foot of snow on the ground. The National Weather Service is issuing winter weather advisories for Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. Reporting for CBS News in St. Louis, Paige Holsey.
And joined here now with me is meteorologist Connor Pregitzer, and seeing how bad that weather is. And, you know, it's sunny here right now this time of year.
Yeah, we are kind of on the good side of the winter breakdown right now. Nice weather for us. Not so nice in on the eastern side of the country. As we look at the satellite radar here, we can see that system that Paige was walking us through there, centered now over Tennessee. Its influence getting away from St. Louis, so they're going to get some hopefully better conditions in the near future here. But we can see those wide areas of pink and purple over North Carolina. That's freezing rain, so there's some good chance of a lot of icing and a lot more snow falling across the eastern seaboard. So definitely some winter weather there, and we can see the impact of that system being so deep across the wide area. We look at St. Louis, only 34 degrees for the high today. Cold in Wichita as well. We saw snow on the ground during the Chiefs game earlier today. We here in Billings, warmer temperatures than much of the country today because we're outside the influence of that deep system. Now I'll let you know whether or not we've got some more wintry weather of our own heading our way in just a little bit here.
Thanks so much, Connor. Back here in Billings, doctors, scientists, and engineers of the future came together today for the kickoff of the regional MSUB Billings Clinic Science Fair. Students are starting to prepare their science fair projects at this time of year, and local scientific professionals were there today for the kickoff, inspiring children with experiments and projects. Students from the 1st through 12th grade can compete in the science fair, and this is an opportunity giving children a chance to explore and study something that interests them.
Kids love to do anything hands-on, anything they can touch, feel, watch explode, or watch some kind of a reaction. They absolutely love that.
We need to make sure that we can inspire students to become future scientists, physicians, leaders, professors, science teachers, and everything else. There's so much opportunity for our kids out there right now. We want to make sure that they get the tools right now to do a great science project that they can lead into an international program. So this is a great opportunity for us to work with our community and our students.
The 31st Annual Science Expo is March 22nd and 23rd at MSUB. Families had a chance to have some fun and learn at the 4th Annual Family Life Expo today. Even though it was nice weather outside, it was still just as good indoors. Children were given a chance to get some exercise during the expo while families were exploring. The expo also provides information on health care, finance, real estate, and more. And the Family Life Expo is held by Town Square Media. Well, don't go away. There is still more to come on the Q2 10 o'clock news. A new app that makes sure parents' texts go through to their children and don't go unanswered. Later in sports, we go to Great Falls for round 2 of the Montana Circuit Finals. Rodeo highlights coming up.
You're watching MTN News with Zoe Zandora, Storm Tracker weather with Connor Pregitzer, and sports with Casey Conlon. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.